Good evening, I'm Bradford Eric. Thanks for joining us tonight. Police here on scene of this shooting tell me they just obtained the search warrant to go into that home behind me.
It used to be this was the fire suppression system on a bus.
We found empty vials, used IV bags, and open syringe packages. And Chad, just heartbreaking details in this situation. Those drivers actually went past multiple signs alerting them the road was closed. Belinda Hawley says situations like this are exactly why she has these cameras.
But that prayer could soon be a thing of the past at games in Logan County.
Now, this is not the first time we've dealt with mold issues here at Capitol High School. The water is very murky. There was an earlier heavy thunderstorm that moved through this area, washing debris, sediment, and just more water into the river. So that is impeding the divers right now this evening, but still a very active scene.
It used to be this was the fire suppression system on a bus, the bus driver and a fire extinguisher. But as buses themselves get more high-tech, the suppression systems are going the same route.
Installed on 45 special needs and rear-engine buses, Kanawha County Schools says the new systems contain compressed mist. It gets sprayed out of these nozzles all over the bus and puts a fire out in seconds.
Gosh, you see a lot of cars catching on fire. Like, no lie, like all cars. So makes you scared.
Elizabeth Brumfield's little man isn't ready for school just yet, but she says many parents can breathe easier with this new system.
Child's life.
Transportation Director Brett Fraley says safety is always the first priority.
It's just another layer of protection for that extra couple of seconds or minutes.
He says they've actually been getting calls from districts all over the country about the new systems. And nationally, there's about 1 to 2 bus fires every day.
So many things that you can think about on a day-to-day basis that you worry about for your kids, and I think that knowing that a ride to and from school is safer is going to just make a great impact.
Kanawha County Schools says the plan is eventually to outfit every bus with this system. Bradford Eric, WSAZ News Channel 3, Kanawha County. Fast-moving water covers parts of McCorkle Avenue between Marmet and Chesapeake in eastern Kanawha County. But driver after driver, vehicle after vehicle just plows right through it before this stretch was shut down. Nearby, frustrated homeowners along Left Fork Road were trying to clean up.
And then practically swim to get in the house.
Stephen Hood says the water was all the way up to his porch.
3.5, 4 feet, almost into electric box.
And Hood is angry.
I've lost 16 gamecock, about 18 to 20 barrels, stack of wood there that was, I don't know how high, all that is all gone.
He says he waded in trying to get this culvert cleared, and he says he keeps calling officials to clean out the culverts and ditches.
Like I said, they just ignore us. We're ignored. You live up a holler, you don't exist. Out of sight, out of mind.
Meanwhile, in Chesapeake, yards and roads look like a lake.
You work hard, you pay your taxes, and this is what you get in return.
Melissa Hill says something needs to be done because this keeps happening. And she says her new floor is totally ruined.
Come in and replace the floors as of last week, and now they're gone again this week.
Another homeowner a few blocks down waded through calf-high water, telling me culverts nearby were hardly draining any runoff. He says he acted quickly enough to keep most of the water out. The anger and frustration for many, though, will have to take a back seat as they likely will work through the weekend drying out. Bradford Eric, WSAZ News Channel 3, Kanawha County.
This is still a very active scene here at the Queen Shoals Public Access along the Elk River in Clendenin. Multiple rescue boats in the water. Clendenin Volunteer Fire Department is here on scene along with Kanawha County Emergency Ambulance. Rescue officials tell us about 7:30 this evening, 911 was called after that man had been under the water for several minutes. Crews launched those rescue boats into the rising waters of the Elk River looking for that man and say there's a heavy, fast-moving current. Those torrential rains surely playing a factor in all of this, too. I spoke with some rescue officials about 8:30 this evening, and they tell me this quickly turned into a recovery instead of a rescue. Back to you.
Jail officials say the communication breakdown all comes down to a missing fax. But court officials say the jail should have already had all the information they needed to keep more behind bars. Cabell County court officials tell us they sent a fax over to the jail last November, alerting them to the charges against Donald Moore and his $1 million bond. Jail officials claim they never got that fax, and the information was never put into Moore's file, so they didn't know he was facing charges in Cabell County. For that reason, jail officials say Moore was able to make bail on his separate charges from Lincoln County. It's an incident that's left neighbors like Brenda Huff Clark, who lives just down the road from the jail, on edge.
I would hate to shoot somebody, but I wouldn't hesitate if it was for my protection.
Huff Clark says she had no notification Moore was mistakenly freed until we told her today.
That's real frustrating. I mean, we have a teenager that lives with us, and it is when you're out in your yard and you don't know that somebody's loose. That shouldn't be.
The inmate was free for more than 24 hours, but that's little consolation for a worried neighbor. Now, Brenda Huff Clark says she's always keeping an eye on people who pass by for the safety of her family. As for Donald Moore, he's back behind bars as both the cases involving sex abuse charges out of Lincoln and Cabell counties are ongoing.